Nicholas?
Yeah, okay. Eden Seeden, here we go.
Eden Seeden.
Eden
Here we go.
Seeden, Steven.
Oh, I really like this this hat situation for my Eden cat. It's a cat, apparently. F1ZD
Yeah.
Fizz.
176L.
Ooh. Can't do much with that one.
Fizzled. Well, the top one's fizzled.
Yeah.
I don't know what the bottom one is.
I'm playing Isaac instead of Eden.
Oh.
It's like,
What a terrible mistake.
did they add this cat option in the recent updates?
The
I
ears?
actually have no idea.
I've never seen this cat before. It's
There's a lot of different hair pieces you can get.
What is it? F1ZD 16L
No, 176L.
176L. Got it. Thank you. All right, let's do it.
I parsed it oddly.
my one
I'm a
streak.
Nico.
Oh yeah, this is. I have never seen this
a
before.
cat.
I like the Einstein hair and the old man grandfather hairdo. Like he looked like Father Time.
I like the Lilu hair from Fifth Element.
At first, I was like jealous of all the hair, and I said it's not fair that all of these characters have hair. When I look up, there's just none there. But then I realized that actually, like, Isaac is bald. So there's been enough bald representation in this game for them to be a little Harris now, I think. Just my perspective.
One harder starter.
Look, we're doing the whole show in rhyme
You
today.
got a harder starter.
I'm scared. There's lots of champions.
You should always go to the right when you start a run, not the left.
I didn't.
The left-
I went left and then I...
Oh, that's a fool's move to go to the left.
Well, I found the boss room, but I didn't find the item room.
That's exactly where I went. Was boss.
Classic mistake. I've got 5 hearts right now.
What?
Not, I
Got a
mean, some of them
rosary.
are like fictional hearts, but anyway.
All right.
Cobalt, how was your
Yeah, okay, I was gonna
December
be the
to-
one.
How was your December to January?
It was festive, and
Apart
then
from the flu.
I lost a lot of money in Vegas, and
Awesome.
I got heckled by a drug dealer, which was great.
In
Oh,
Vegas.
there's
In Vegas. I was walking across the walkway, like from the Planet Hollywood to
Oh, yeah.
our other hotel, and
Wait, Hollywood's a planet and Pluto can't be?
That is where Britney Spears plays. It's
Is
in
it?
the NASA's definition. Is if Britney Spears plays there, it's a planet.
it's in there.
We gotta send her on tour around the galaxy.
Let's
Sorry, go
not.
ahead.
Bad representation. But I walked by this guy and like his motley crew, and as I passed,
I thought we were talking about Britney Spears.
Yeah, say it.
no, he was thugging. He was thugging. But
Wait.
him and his boys, I don't know. I thought they were trying to like sell me titties, because that's usually what they try to sell you on the street.
Yeah.
Is titties. They're like, you want to see some titties? Want to go to strip club? Titties, titties, titties.
I got 2 titties right here.
So I was just like, nah, no thanks. And as soon as I said that, I must have triggered him. He was like, oh, nobody wants to hang out with this boring motherfucker, fucking fat ass. And then he,
Wow.
continued to yell fat ass at me as I was going down the escalator.
Wow.
Multiple times, and I was turning around going, fuck you, buddy. And Lisa was like, no, don't. And then he kept talking shit to me, and then she was like, all right, let's turn around. But we kept going. He had like
Dude,
two or three buddies with him, so.
Vegas is a nightmare for that. This is not even close to being on the same level, but at Champions of Fire last year, I woke up early and went down to get a coffee for like $9, and some dude came up to me in the casino and was like, hey, here's my CD. And I was like, nah, I'm not gonna take this. And he said, all right, buddy, you look like you're from fucking Utah, and walked away. Which at the time I didn't even understand if that's an insult or a compliment, but it must have been meant as an insult based on his tone. So, but
Oh,
it was,
man.
yeah, I don't know what's going on in that place. Everybody's so angry all the time. I thought it was a vacation hotspot.
I had
thought-
some old guy try to scam me too.
At first, when you said that, I thought you were gonna mean that, like, when he said nobody wants to hang out with this motherfucker, like he was being down on himself. And you're
Yeah,
gonna be
like-
like, oh no, it's okay, man. I'm sorry.
He was melancholy.
I was with my fiance though, so clearly at least one person wanted to hang out with me.
Yeah,
Like,
that's true.
are you
Valid
kidding me,
point,
dude?
man. You're the
Like,
one
oh.
selling drugs on the Planet Hollywood Bridge, man.
I know, right? Get a life, bro. Like, jeez.
I'm
And
sure
then-
it was just deflecting. Probably no one does want to hang out with him.
I was putting a cash receipt in one of those ticket dispensers, and there was a
titty dispenser.
Yeah.
I was 100%
swimming in titties with my with my coupons.
I had a friend tried to put $1 into a stripper once, and that was really
into
embarrassing.
a stripper.
Yeah.
You gotta
like
tuck
into-
them. You gotta tuck it.
Into the
No, like as if she was an ATM.
yeah.
Oh.
She was grabbing the bar and then leaning forward with her legs open, and he was like
nice.
putting the dollar like as
In the
if
slot.
Was
as
he
if it
expecting 4 quarters to come out of her
like
mouth?
it was gonna give him a bag of chips or something.
That's how you get herpes.
Yeah, maybe not a bag of chips, but a bucket
Yeah.
of crabs.
His girlfriend was like, "No, don't do that."
I got not attacked, but this guy was camped out. This guy was camped out next to the ticket dispenser. Like, I don't know what he's doing. And he
Yeah.
comes up to me and he's like, "Hey, you look like a real solid guy, a straight shooter." And I'm like, "Oh, because of my baby face. He probably thinks I'm just some tourist scrub daddy who cares
seen
about
you fire a
humanity."
You're
But
straight shooter.
immediately he goes in, "Do you know what Fix-A-Flat is?"
Yes.
Lord.
And I'm like, "Yeah, this money's not mine, it's my fiance's." He's like, "Oh, okay, I respect that, real straight shooter." Then he grabs my hand to shake it.
Oh,
Crustiest hand I've ever held. Like,
Did he go for an elbow or
hard.
did he
No elbow, but hand was like, it was like, you know the guy made of rocks in Fantastic
Thing?
Four? The
Michael
Thing?
Chiklis, the thing.
Yes, it was
He's
like
made of
holding
chiclets.
his hand. And then when I looked at it afterwards, I noticed around his thumbnail was like blood, and I'm just like, oh my
Oh.
god. So I escape him, and I go back to Lisa, and we're walking, and she tries to hold my hand, and I'm like, don't touch it. It needs to be
Wait, but what's
cleansed.
infected?
What is Fix-A-Flat, though?
I
Fixes
don't.
your flat tire.
He's like, yeah, okay, bud. You need $10 for Fix-A-Flat that you drove your car here that's in valet right now at the Paris Hotel. Okay. Let's
Oh, he was
take me
coming
to
up
your
with
car,
excuses
bro.
For why you
His-
couldn't give him money.
His tire was flat,
Apparently,
and he wanted you to fix. I see. I understand.
yeah. That was his scam anyway. I must have looked
Some-
real dumb.
Some people might think this is overly cynical, and maybe it is. But I think if you're in any major city and a stranger opens a conversation with a completely like out of nowhere compliment, it's never gonna end well.
Yeah, I agree.
Rarely do people outside of like, you know, Jackson, Missouri go like, "Hey, you look like a straight shooter. Let's be friends." It's always like, "Have I got an opportunity for you?"
It
I
was
think Vegas
pretty
is
horrifying.
also known for being sort of a haven of people looking to take advantage of tourists. I mean, as many cities are, but
Yeah.
that place is specifically known for people that are like magicians and want to do
Yeah.
weird stuff.
I did. That was like I don't know. Those are the only 2 bad things that happened, though. The rest of the trip was great, and I got to eat at Gordon Ramsay's burger twice, which was oddly affordable, actually.
Burgar.
He just changed it.
Burger.
It's called Gordon Ramsay's Burger now.
Oh,
It's not
So
called
they
Burger
added a new-
anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a weird name.
Burgar.io.
It's like
I don't-
all the
I
vowels out of
might-
it.
End up going back to Vegas this year. I'm undecided.
Let's
And
go.
I'll give you the wherewithal or the situation. Final Fantasy Fan Fest is back. It's once every 2 years. Kate wants to go, and she's like, "You don't have to go this time." And I'm like, "Yeah," and I like really don't like Vegas, but then like after it's been 2 years since I've been to Vegas, I go, maybe it's cool now. And it is cool, but it's not my cool. It's
Did you
not
see
my
any
kinda
shows
cool.
last time you went?
No.
Okay,
But I have
well,
seen,
there you go.
I have seen Cirque du Soleil in Vegas once, and it was amazing. It was incredible.
I saw the Beatles Love one, and it was
Right,
really
yeah.
good.
Treasure
We saw
Island.
the Blue Man Group.
The Luxor.
Yes. Which the Luxor's really cool if you go up the steps, like to the Blue Man Theater. They have like this giant hieroglyphic statue and like
Yeah.
all these, I don't know, sphinx and temples and stuff. It's really awesome.
A Nox in a moon.
I want a Green Man theater for Charlie Day. And it's just him dancing on the stage for hours until he gets tired.
One of the blue men is really good at catching marshmallows in his mouth. He was deep throating them like 6 inches into his throat. It was disturbing.
A hell of a talent.
And then he gave them to somebody.
Are there 3 blue men?
4.
Or are there like 100 blue men?
I think there's like 100.
Yeah, they're in like multiple parts of the world simultaneously, right?
Yeah, I think there's like a blue man group like in every city or something.
That's weird. I'm not sure I like that.
It's like you can be a blue man group like franchisee.
Theirs is pretty good though.
Oh, they've got to be like the original blue men, right?
I don't know about that, but they had some weird like scorpion drums that moved like insects. So I mean, they got the hookup, and they're in Vegas, so that's got to be like the top of the Blue Man Pyramid when you're in Vegas.
Oh, that's the best shows on earth.
And they're in the Luxor. I mean, come on.
A Nox in a moon.
I saw an episode of Shark Tank. Someone was pitching their magic show that they wanted to have in Vegas on Shark Tank. They didn't get a deal. Probably needless
What if
to
I
say.
were to pitch my stream on Shark Tank? Like, hey,
I have
think you
actually
should. I
thought
think you
about
should.
that.
invest in me. I will give you 5% return over the next 10 years.
Well, you know they're gonna want 25% because it's just they won't have enough skin in the game. They love to say that.
Yeah.
And then you gotta haggle them down to like 17.5%, and then they'll be like, well, what's the difference between the 2.5 to 20? Why don't you just take 20 then? Am
What
I
do you
not
need
worth the
this-
extra 2.5?
What do you need this $500,000 for? What are you going to use it for?
Speaking of
Production
what you don't
crew,
understand,
marshmallows,
the value.
Jello pit.
Speaking of $500,000, Kevin O'Leary shouldn't be giving anybody any money because he owes his creditors $500,000 from his failed run at the Conservative Party leadership in Canada.
He didn't win?
Oh no, he dropped out.
But if he won, would he still owe them money?
I think that yes, that probably.
Or does he just
Yeah,
make
I
it up
think you
for
still-
political favors?
I think you still have to pay the people that you contracted yourself with.
See, here in America, they just give you money for free, and then they're like, here, make laws that we like. And they're like, okay.
Dude, it actually reminds me. So, Kate and I watched an episode of this show on Netflix because I love really bad reality TV, and it was called like World's Cheapest Weddings, and it's an Australian show about people who try to have weddings for like under $500, basically.
I almost watched that too, actually.
Dude, episode 1 is great because there's like one couple that's like, I bought all my stuff on eBay, and then it goes okay, and then one couple is like, well, we just paid for a visa for my wife or my fiance at the time to live here, so we don't have much money left over, so we're just having like a barbecue. And then when they loved each other, it was fantastic. But then one couple was like, yeah, we're having our wedding for free because we live on this island, and everybody on the island just gave them everything. And I was
Cool.
like, this is a lie. This is not a cheap wedding. This is hundreds of people donating their time. They were like, and they were talking up like, oh, well, it's so stupid. Like all these city slickers, well, they have to buy like fruits and vegetables for their wedding. I just go out into the field and pick some corn from like a neighbor's field. I'm like, that's a donation. Somebody donated to your wedding. That doesn't make it cheap. It's a lie.
Yeah, I guess I know what you mean.
I mean, it could be cheap and still be labor intensive, though. Like,
I mean, it was, but it wasn't even them doing the labor. It was like, they live on this island with like 1,000 people, and probably get 2 TV channels. So the guy who runs the flower shop was like, "Yeah, just come over and pick some flowers."
I mean, if you can convince people to pay for your shit or give you things, it's still cheap. You just have very good powers of persuasion.
I don't resent them. I just resent the show being like, check, because they were saying things like, see, it's really possible to have a wedding without spending a lot of money. Like, yeah, if you can convince 100 of your neighbors to give you their time and like goods for free.
What if you yourself decided to start an arboretum that grew like 1,000,000 white roses for the sake of your wedding? Like you learned everything about how to cultivate them just for that one event.
1,000,000?
Would that then qualify? Well, however many you need for this.
I mean, it's like
5?
5. So there's got to be somewhere in the middle between those two values.
We just need
Okay,
5 roses, one for the podium, and
Let's say 100.
okay, that's more feasible.
That's like a number that maybe someone in the world's ever used.
I don't think you need to start your own arboretum to grow
get
100
100?
roses. Yeah.
Okay, I guess that makes sense also.
Like, I'm being honest, the lady went out into the wilderness and picked a bunch of corn. And she's like, oh, people in Sydney have to go to the grocery store and pay for their corn, the idiots. You're in the farmer's field picking his corn because he said it's okay. And the husband put on a wetsuit. This is not a joke. He went scuba diving in his wetsuit and like spearfished an enormous like ahi or something like that, and was like, check it out. All the city slickers buying their meat like idiots. Just buy a wetsuit and an oxygen tank and a harpoon gun. Go farm your own meals.
Do you not think that's badass though?
It was pretty cool, I'll admit. But they always had like an air of superiority, like anybody who doesn't do things that way is a moron.
Well, that's like what I was talking about with the people that want to live in Alaska. Like, if you don't want to risk your life walking over a river of ice, you clearly haven't figured out life yet.
It's like there was a commercial on yesterday, and it was like, people used to not be wusses, and it showed like a dude. He like wiped his nose on his t-shirt and then went back to fixing like a 1957 Chevy Camaro or something like that. And then it was like, but that's not today. And it showed a guy sick in bed, and it was like, oh, he's got a cold. I want to say like, you know, like literally like 100 million people died of Spanish flu.
How did they know that was the same illness that they compared the two of?
I'm just saying, it might not be like terms, all right? I'm just upset that millennials keep eating shit. It all comes back to that in the end.
Because we're eating.
Because we're buying food from the fucking grocery store, and if we're sick, we sit in bed instead of spreading our germs to the entire population. Except
so you
also
don't think
people
died
stayed
of
in
bed?
disease.
I stayed in bed naked for 3 days, and I chugged NyQuil pills.
The original millennial then, Charlie from Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, his whole family was bedridden.
His whole family stayed in bed. And it was proven by Grandpa Joe's actions. They didn't need to.
They didn't need to. They were just wasting our time, pointlessly becoming victims.
Yeah, it's a victim mentality is the thing. It's infected all of the family from what's their bucket? The bucket family.
Yeah, the bucket family.
Whole bucket family, just a family.
He didn't want to come out of retirement to walk, basically.
I don't like cabbage stew, but I don't want to get a job.
I have had my cousin's foot lodged in my groin for the past 20 years.
Not to mention, like, dude went from being bedridden to dancing
in
to
like
flying.
5 minutes.
Yeah.
He flew.
Yeah, that's wild.
That's the fizzy level lifting, though. Oh. Grandpa Joe, the miracle worker. He steals all my money in Vegas, that old fuck.
Grandpa
oh my
Joe.
god.
Grandpa Joe, is there a slot machine with that on it?
Willy Wonka every time.
Oh, yeah.
Grandpa Joe shows up, I'm like, no! He's blocking my Charlies.
I love that as a term.
I love the gaming industry in Las Vegas because you know you go there and you're like, oh, a slot machine, bells, cherries, you know, other fruits.
Bars.
Yeah, bars. I forgot about those.
A lot of bars and sevens.
There's the standard bar, there's a 2 bar, there's a 3 bar. But then you go there and you realize, oh, it's actually like either movies from 35 years ago or vaguely racist, like Oriental dreams. And then there's just like a woman in a red dress, like straight out of Rush Hour 2.
I played Sharknado.
Oh Lord!
And I won $100 my first spin, and then I lost it on the next slot machine. It's awesome.
I would say Sharknado doesn't fall within that grouping.
No, absolutely not.
It was pretty
Very
good.
progressive.
It's like an ironic slot machine.
That makes me want to play it more.
I like the Sharknado. When I played the Goonies slot machine, that fits under your category though.
Absolutely. I don't like. I want to genuinely, sincerely, if anybody here works at like the Nevada Gaming Commission, or you have any role in making these slot machines, I just want to let me be a fly on the wall at the pitch meeting. That's like, oh, should we make like a Tootsie slot machine? Seems like the demographics that come to our casino, they're big fans of Tootsie.
It strikes me as a smaller group that runs that operation. Maybe 1 or 2 people are in charge of that.
I think there's companies that make the damn things, and then they're like, yo, this is our hottest shit. And they're like, all right, give me 5 of them.
Right.
You know?
But the person who decides the machine in the first place, though, like,
gotta
what is
be the
their thought
company.
process?
Oh, they're just like, what's the cheapest movie that's
we can get the IP
recognizable
from?
that we
Yeah,
can make a
alright.
machine out of?
3 men and a little lady.
There'd just be pictures of like Charlie Sheen's face on them.
I haven't seen a Charlie Sheen slot machine yet. That'd be a good one though. Like we could
rolls
get like
off
a
the tongue.
Scarface one too.
Charlie Sheen, slot machine.
Slot machine.
Ooh, this boss rush, no Spanx.
You know, as I was a little kid, I thought there was a chance in my life that I might end up with a gambling problem because I like the culture of slot machines. I like the iconography that's on them. You know, the cherries. I'm down with cherries.
Oh, of course.
The bars, I don't really get them, but I like them. The sevens, they're lucky, right? Like sometimes there's grapes, I think, also. I don't know. I didn't really get why they were the things that they were, but I wanted to be part of that world. And I'm glad that I decided that I should think more about it later.
Yeah, that seems sensible.
They'll take all your money.
Well,
You
I
win
played,
$150 and then you lose it in 2 minutes.
I played a ton of like Vegas Stakes on Super Nintendo. Like that was my dream video game as a child. It was just like you can play blackjack and a simulated slot machine. But
Forever with no consequences?
For the most part, I just like, I don't know. I get sports gambling. I don't get other kinds of gambling. And I guess I don't even want to be, I don't want to have it explained to me. I'm content, I think. Because like, someone tweeted me and there was like this video about loss aversion. And I think it's something that I 100% either suffer from or benefit from. Where like losing $100 is like getting shot in the arm to me. And then winning $100 is like, okay, so what?
Based on how you play Isaac, I would have thought, like, your perspective on risk is that you take more risks than you need to sometimes.
You gotta win big or not at all.
Yeah.
But not
and
in
I'm
like
cautious.
Not in real life though. This is a video game.
Yeah. I know. But I can't separate the two sometimes with that. Like, because I'm so risk averse in real life, I don't want to do it in video games either, even though there's no consequences.
I lost $200 in blackjack in 20 minutes.
Good lord. See, that would be like,
One
I would
time.
actually probably just get on the next plane. In that case, I wouldn't be able to. I would wake up in the morning and still stink of the shame that I would. And I'm not saying it like it's something you necessarily should be ashamed of. Just for me personally, I don't think I can get over that.
I didn't win any hands. I was min betting too. Like, I wasn't just YOLOing $50 out there or something. I was playing the minimum amount. Little scumbags. I had one of those old lady dealers though that just knew she was wrecking me.
Nice.
Should have got off that table.
Apparently, the bar originated from the Bell Fruit Gum Company logo.
Oh, of course.
That's such a specific thing, but I'm glad I know now. Thank you for
Or are
telling
we
me.
talking about the Bellfruit Gum Company logo?
Yeah, of course. Obviously.
Boogie Woogie Boogie Boy from Company C?
It's kind of cool that there's such weird stories to this stuff, though, because it's such a part of everybody's culture that we never think about, but there's some very specific people involved with why it is that way. Maybe that doesn't do it for you, but it's kind of cool for me.
The history of gambling is kind of interesting, I suppose.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, I also feel like, I mean, this is going to sound like, you know, 200 IQ. But I feel like the more you understand probability, the more you understand, like, oh, if I really want to get, if I want to have a chance to win a lot of money, I have to bet a lot of money. That's like that's a buzzkill. Because when I was like 8, I was like, well, you could just go to the casino and get rich. Well, it's like
in theory.
almost literally impossible.
I
mean,
can't think of a time I saw anybody hit a reasonable jackpot, even around me, or just walking through the casino, and I've been in there
Right.
for hours, so the chances of me sitting down and
Oh.
hitting one, hell no.
I thought they were set up in a way that sort of promotes it that every so often people will see it happen to make it think they can happen to them.
Yeah, we're supposed to, but
But they don't actually bother with that anymore.
I mean, I haven't seen it. The biggest ones I've seen are like a couple of $100. I've never seen it like 1,000 or thousands of dollars at all. Anything like that.
You want to see 1,000 happen sometimes.
At least 1,000. I want the 1,000. Like, come
right.
on, man. What I usually try to do is I'll sit on a machine until I hit a bonus or a good, like, little win, and then I just immediately get off the machine. And I try to look for the machines that have had the lowest payout when somebody cashes out, because some of the machines will be like, this machine cashed out $5. And I'll be like, well, they didn't win shit. So they, you know, it's got to hit soon. Right? It never does.
No, but I understand the logic in theory, yes.
It doesn't work, don't do it. Don't fall into the lies. I would say stick with the shows, though. Stay away from the slots. Poker was kind of fun. It was an experience.
Poker is the one I will never play at a casino. Because I think, yeah, I'm worse than the average player. Anybody that has the confidence to sit down at a poker table in Las Vegas, I don't want to play against you. I want to play against the guy who's, like, begrudging.
There were foreign people that didn't even speak English playing.
Wow.
Wow.
And the dealer would just, like, have to point at him when it was his turn, and he would just, like, throw chips in, and I'd be like, I'm fucking out. This guy's a madman.
I thought you had to talk to be part of a poker game, really.
I mean...
On TV you do, absolutely.
Oh.
It's a TV thing.
I know very little about poker, so...
I lost to pocket aces when I had kings on the board. It was pretty rough.
Pocket Rockets, yeah.
The pocket rockets.
The Doyle Brunson.
Beat my Cowboys. Man, I really like poker, but they are serious in Vegas when they play. They're real serious.
I want to play against all these people that have been on Cristiano Ronaldo's Poker Stars for 8 hours a day. Like,
yeah. See, on Facebook poker, I'm the king. Okay. But because everybody just plays shit, and I catch them playing shit. But they don't play shit in Vegas. It costs them money. There's this one guy. He had like tripled his stack, and the guy sitting next to me called him like all in and won a hand against him, like $100. And the guy like had been caught bluffing, so he just cashed out and stood up and went to another table.
Because his tail had been revealed.
Yeah, he was just like, okay. I won enough money here. You caught me.
He's pulling the Oreos off, I remember.
Yeah, he actually bluffed me out of a hand and had like a really low pair to one hand, and I was like kind of pissed, but I didn't say anything because I didn't want to start a fight.
I guess that's the other thing, is I would never play poker because I'd rather just be mad at the casino.
Yeah.
As opposed to being mad at anybody else, but like...
Almost victimless crime if you're mad at the casino.
Except for you.
What is Arrow Walk?
It gives you 3 cards.
No, that's ancient.
Ancestral recall.
That's ancient knowledge, ancient recall. That's
yeah, that one. That's the one that slows everything for a room.
Correct.
Ah, okay. New cards. Good stuff.
Well, you know, new like 5 months ago, but
new to me.
No,
I know. We made
still
the same observation before.
I think we're due a booster pack here soon-ish.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
The last one ever.
Yeah, and then he's probably gonna go make Isaac too and milk the teats.
And I might be biased, but I think that is a great idea.
Depends on how it's executed, but
no,
yeah.
it's actually just
a great idea.
It's really good and smart.
It's okay if he doesn't want to keep making Isaac his whole life. That's fine.
No,
I mean, he's made some other games in between. Where's my Legend of Bumbo at?
Maybe give it like 5 years and then come back to Isaac.
5 years?
Yeah, that's enough time to make like one other game and then start another project.
That's enough for YouTube to burn all of our careers down.
Exactly, that's a lifetime, man. I was thinking like 5 weeks.
They're gonna get the tendrils in on us and demonetize all of our channels. First they start at the bottom, and now they're gonna work their way down from the top next. They're gonna go for all the money makers.
97 damage.
What on
earth?
good.
No, this is bad. It looks good, but it's a lie.
It's good on paper. You D4'd a bunch of times, didn't you?
Oh, yes.
I've got a Blade Cardiera and 99 keys.
I seem to be getting... my damage is going up and down for seemingly arbitrary reasons. I'm not sure why.
Do you have a succubus?
Ah, yeah, that's why. The aura. Thank you.
Boom.
Forgot about the aura.
The run's too strong. It's hurting me now.
I've got the Yera Perthrow combo here.
It's like I walk into a room and it's like I summon a star. Like I summoned an actual constellation.
David Bowie's Black
whenever
Star.
I shoot. Yeah, it like I have Jacob's ladder, so like all the shots connect to one another.
Nice.
And then spread out, and they home in on the enemies, and they suck the enemies in. Like, it's just... Oh. It does hurt me, though, because they all explode as well. But, you know.
Well, that's fine, as long as they all die.
Anyway, that's why I don't necessarily... It's not even the gambling that gets me in Las Vegas. I just, like... I feel like whenever I'm there, I lose faith in humanity, and it's very selfish of me. I want to make that clear. Everybody's there on vacation, but I still find myself being like, really? Like, you're 55 years old and you're having a Bud Light at 8 a.m.? Like,
hell yeah.
It just makes me like,
there is
sad.
no time in Vegas. All
Yeah, I
time
mean,
runs
that
together.
might not be 8 a.m. for them. They may have
No.
stayed up the whole night.
Well, that's still 8 a.m. though. That's like, you know, like the fundamental
What if they have jet lag?
look. Sure. What if they have jet lag? What if they have
8
jet lag?
a.m. is actually surprisingly relative sometimes.
That's, yeah, whenever I, go to Japan, I'm like, oh, 6 a.m.? It's 5 p.m. somewhere. Just crack into some sake.
There you go.
No,
That's the
Oh,
spirit.
you weren't serious.
No, these people should be judged. It's making
Why is it bad to drink early again?
It's just like a sign of alcoholism.
No, I'm
Time
like,
is
if you're on
just a
vacation.
concept. I make my own time. You know, if I want to be awake from the 12 midnight to 8 a.m. and sleep through the daylight, I'm just a vampire, okay?
Correct, yeah.
I had a Guinness at 2 p.m. in Ireland, and that was the most self-conscious I was about
Yeah,
it
2
for
p.m.
some
is
reason.
like completely okay.
When's the cutoff? Like noon?
I'd say even like 11 a.m. is probably okay. It's just when you wake up and you go down, you're like, oh, I'm pretty tired. What's going on down here? And you see like 8 dudes in camo hats drinking a Bud Light that's like taller than they are.
It's always Miller time, says my chat.
We did sit with one guy that his job was to raise prize steers, so
Nice.
pretty sweet.
I hope he didn't vomit blood everywhere, because that happens with those Texas millionaires sometimes.
Absolutely true.
And you gotta get an egg.
I'm aware of this reference. It's from an earlier season.
Yes.
I was trying to buddy up with somebody at the poker table, and like I was asking about his job and all this and that. And he was like, "Oh, I own my own business," and da 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 da. And I was expecting him
join
to
the
ask me
club.
what I did, but he did not give a fuck. He just wanted to talk about himself. So I just let it go. Just let him talk about himself the whole time. It was fine. I figured he'd like me more and maybe not take my chips, you know, when he had a really good
Does it work
hand.
like that?
Sometimes.
I like this guy. I won't fuck him over in poker.
Yeah, if I saw someone eating an ice cream cone at 8 a.m., I'd be like, that's early, but it's ice cream. It's just a... And the other thing is if I see like a... And chat's not gonna like this one, but I'm gonna stick to it, okay? If I see like a group of 21-year-olds drinking a Bud Light at 8 a.m., I go, yeah, I get it. You're 21, you're in Vegas. You're 25, you're in Vegas. It's when I see the dude that's like...
No old
Like
people
that.
are allowed to have fun.
That's not what I
early.
mean. I just mean that at that age, you might want to consider trying to enjoy
A
a
hospital
kind
or
of
a
fun.
old nursing home, you know.
That's not what this is. You're putting words in my mouth here. Is the thing.
What if it was complimentary and you have to drink it or they're gonna
Who's
take it
giving
away?
out complimentary?
They're all complimentary if you're gambling.
That's what I was gonna say.
You're being
They're all
chat
free.
Oh, I gotta. You have to ask for it though. They don't just come over and be like,
No, they come over and they're like,
They
"Yo,
come
what do you
over.
want?" You're like, "Well, Bud Light. I mean, I'm already losing $1,000 a second on this
Yeah,
Wonka
that's how
slot
they keep you
machine."
complacent. Come on, that's not an edge case. That's actually a realistic thing.
Well, no, it isn't.
Come on. Really? You don't give me that.
No, I'm not gonna give it because you
Ah.
choose whether or not to take it.
What the fuck
It's
is an
complimentary.
edge
You're not gonna
case?
take a free Bud Light.
No, you shouldn't be in the casino at 8 a.m.
It's too late. You're already
I
there.
mean, I have to walk 5 miles through the damn thing to get to my hotel elevator, so might as well grab a
just stay
Bud Light
here.
on the way.
What the most ridiculous part of this whole argument is, out of the three of us, I'm probably 100 times more likely to have an 8 a.m. Bud Light than either.
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah, I have no
agree.
interest at all.
And I find myself not even playing devil's advocate, just like, explaining why I think it's bad. This is not judgy, okay? It's what it is.
Yeah,
but
I've never had an alcoholic
it's
drink.
justifiably judgy, I think.
I feel like if you're on vacation, who cares? Be free of judgment.
Nah.
You
should
think I
always-
was caring when the drug dealer was judging me going down the ramp? I did actually.
You did for a minute.
I was
but
saying
got
"fuck you" over and over at him, but I didn't want to get shot either. So I was kind of like "fuck you."
Chad, you don't understand. You're giving us these like awful, these situations that happen 1 in 10,000 times.
Mine isn't
But
one of those.
This is someone in chat's like, what if they work the night shift? They're not working the night shift. They are on vacation in Vegas. They're wearing a shirt that says like Boise State.
The night shift argument is the same as the jet lag argument, really.
Well, the night shift argument, I'll give you more credit because you live that life like all the time. So if you're like, hey, I'm having a beer at 8 a.m., but that's literally like when I get off work, I'm not gonna fuss about that. But it's also much rarer, I think, than people would give it credit for.
I think they should be allowed a beer in the morning. Absolutely. They worked hard all night.
Of course, I'm not suggesting that they don't.
No, you did suggest. You said they can't have a beer in the morning because that ruins your life.
No, this is.
Then you got to
this
look
is
at them, and that's going to be awful.
This is a complete misrepresentation of my beliefs on this subject. I'm not saying they can't do it. I'm just saying they should accept that I'm going to look at that and be like, oh, really?
You just don't know the story.
I want my 60-year-olds worried about going to Starbucks because they think the food's too spicy. That's where I'm comfortable with the middle-aged and elderly population.
When you retire, do you not think you should be allowed to have drinks all morning?
You're all
if you
these.
feel like
This
it?
is such a. This is a. I'm not going to use the G word because I've taken some heat for it recently. But on the other hand, at the same time, I'm not suggesting they can't or should not be allowed to.
You're just going to judge them.
Like you can speed. I'm not going to stop you from speeding. But if you're or like not using your signal light.
Well, that can harm someone. What's drinking going to harm anybody? As long as they're sitting
well,
there. No, as long as they're sitting in a chair, not doing anything illegal, not driving.
except for
drunk.
killing their liver.
Yeah,
That's their
you know.
liver. They get to fuck their liver up if they want.
That's true.
Wait, when has drinking ever harmed anybody?
That's not what I said. It's not going to harm you if they're sitting in a chair drinking a beer. Maybe they'll yell at you. That's the worst case.
No, I'm not worried about getting yelled at. I'd rather yell at them. I say, hey, Grandpa, slow down. Have some water.
Grandpa had all the water he needed back in the war. He's good now. He drinks beer
Back
only.
in the war. Oh no.
Easy run.
I've got giant, googly money ball tears that clink when they touch each other because I got the eyeball thingy.
Beers only.
All I'm saying is that 100% of the time when I'm outside, I feel like I'm being judged. So I take that and in an ugly way, I project that onto other people. So yeah, if you're on vacation, you're drinking a beer at 8 a.m., I'm not gonna be like, look at this guy. But in my head, I'm like, look at that guy.
I want to take the aggregate anxiety and lower it somehow, and I feel like you're the first person I can start it with.
We're like many PAX East, we've been human trash. But I accept also that when Josh is shithouse and he cocks the big buck hunter shotgun and points it at a random lady, I don't, and she gets a little wary about it. I'm not gonna be like, oh, see, he's on vacation. Oh, so he's not allowed to, you know, vaguely threaten people, you know?
If Grandpa
With
is
a
drunk
video
and
game?
cocks a shotgun and points it at me, I'm gonna have words. That's not what he's doing. He's reading the paper, having a Bud Light. Who gives a shit?
He's not reading the paper. They're walking around going, hoo-ah! Hoo-ah!
I guess we have different hypotheticals in our heads.
Yes, oh, just a nice day on vacation. I think I'll go down, get to New York Times and have a 34-ounce Bud Light for breakfast. This
Maybe
is
you should
very-
vacation in like Idaho or something.
Yeah, somewhere dry. The average beer, if you just had one beer,
No,
it's
no,
gonna
you
get you
don't-
drunk.
You don't understand. This is Vegas. In other parts of the world, even when the same people are going there, they don't behave like that.
They
And that's
serve beer in McDonald's in other parts of the world.
yeah, but nobody like in Japan, Korea, you know, like you can drink beer outside. There's no law against it, but the only people doing it are North Americans. Yeah, exactly. Like the culture of the city is of the
Big
country
ball.
is just different. And in Vegas, it's like, hey, in Vegas you can do whatever the fuck you want, and I'm like, I don't like that.
Yeah, like proposition young men for drugs on walkways between hotels multiple times.
NL, you're such a prude. You get annoyed by people constantly flicking nude business cards for strip clubs and sex ranches at you. You prude.
They're
Why-
literally
people in
littering the
sex
ground.
Let people enjoy their vacations, you prude.
I want to go to a sex ranch. What happens there?
What do you think happens there?
I don't know.
Pay for
can
the
go there.
sexuals. They make you wash your dick in a sink. I've seen the cat house show.
It's only a plane away, man.
They have like a bed and a sink in the room, and that's all you need. Like,
Bed in a sink.
they're like, go handle that real quick before you come over here.
I didn't know there were ranches though. That's cool. So there's like horses and stuff on the side, some scenery.
No,
There might be some mares.
the bunny ranch, some bunnies.
Is it just the bunny ranch? I thought that was the only one.
No, I think like outside of Vegas, but in Nevada proper, you can actually just like pay for intercourse.
Oh.
It's like a cat ranch.
Why
I
is it a
wouldn't
ranch
trust.
then?
I wouldn't trust any place that didn't have like a house and like credentials. Anybody giving cards out, I'm like, I'm definitely getting crabolas from this.
Well, I think it's called a ranch because of the clientele that it's trying to appeal to. It's like the same. Like there's no literal
Cowboys?
There's no literal king of burgers. And McDonald's is not run by like an old Irish man.
Well, but I did honestly think though that they were on a literal ranch in the bunny farm thing, like that it was out
It's
in the
not
middle of a
called
field somewhere.
A farm.
But whatever they do to the
called-
bunnies, I don't know. Can you milk your own stuff at
Oh,
that?
I got a butthole.
Oh, Polyphemus. Yeah, oh man, me too, Cobalt. I got a butthole too.
Yeah,
Awesome.
it's a big one.
Let me tell you what.
My tears are so big I can't find the doors. Help.
Bunny farm is really sexist. Oh, I don't even know why that is that.
Look, Chad. Two
They
people
call
can
it the
play
damn
this
bunny
game.
farm. I didn't name
It's
it.
called the Bunny Ranch, not the Bunny Farm.
I'm
I don't
sorry,
know
I
why one
used the wrong
sounds so
word.
weird though. Look, Chad. Someone's
I
like,
meant nothing by it.
someone drinking alone at 8 a.m. doesn't affect you. That's true. But me judging that person doesn't affect you either. And me saying that me judging them doesn't affect you doesn't affect me. And Nick saying that it like we can play this turtles all the way down, dude.
No,
I think it
because there's
doesn't matter
something-
unless the person gives a fuck being judged. Like, if they don't
Yeah, they
care,
probably
then it
say
doesn't
that I
really
look like I'm
matter.
from Utah.
And you're not gonna tell them you're judging them, so. Well, some
There's
people
something
might.
to be said about a culture of tolerance that sort of breeds more openness in people.
This is where we're gonna talk about a culture of tolerance.
Yeah, because I think that judging someone for drinking when it doesn't affect you seems like too much for me. That's all. Yeah, just be cool. They've had a rough life, maybe. They want to get a
You
beer
don't
in the
know.
morning.
We're assuming this. That's judgmental.
assuming
they've had a
the
rough.
best in
Oh,
them.
just because they're drinking in the morning, they must have had a rough life.
Would you be happier if I assumed maybe they were an alcoholic? Would that make you feel better?
Yeah, absolutely.
Why?
Well, because at least it gives them an excuse. They have like a physiological or psychological dependency. Oh Lord.
Sorry.
No, it's no
Pick up.
problem. They might have saved us.
So the excuse of I just want to drink a beer, that's not enough of an excuse for me.
What if
The thing
it's
is, I'm not
a
saying you shouldn't
mimosa
be able to.
at 8
I'm not
a.m.?
I'm not saying you shouldn't be able to.
Yeah,
What
a
if
breakfast
someone is
drink.
getting
Yeah,
like
go ahead.
4 mimosas?
Have 4 mimosas.
At
What
least-
does the alcohol content matter in this scenario, though?
No, it does have a beer, but I'm gonna be looking over the railing of the restaurant and
I don't
going,
think we can crack this egg.
is that his 4th mimosa? That's a lot of mimosas.
They took the glasses away when he's done. They don't. You can't tell.
Get
Can't
one
tell
shot
how
in
many
delirium.
mimosas you. Okay, look.
Yeah, exactly right. Because they took the glass away. It's a proper establishment.
I had
They can
no
wash them.
choice. They kept bringing mimosas, and I lost count. Anyway, Nick, you go to fucking Vegas. You tell me how you enjoy it.
I won't enjoy it.
Yeah,
But not because
enjoy-
of people
go ahead.
drinking, because people drink all the time. Who cares?
You'll enjoy it. You just gotta do the right things that appeal
I
to
gotta
you.
go to shows. I want to see
They-
Penn and Teller. That's about it.
They have shows. They have a roller coaster that wraps around a fucking skyscraper. Like, come on.
I want to
Last
check
time
out
I
that
was in-
pyramid.
Last time I was in Vegas, a dude tried to sell me Coke, and then when I said no, he almost threatened me. He was like, "Why?" Are
My
you a
guy
fucking-"
did threaten me. Come
He's
on.
like, "Are you a fucking cop or something?" And I'm like, "No, you started talking to me. I didn't.
You a
strike up
fucking
a-
cop?
I didn't strike up a conversation with you. You came to me and said, hey, do you like to party?"
Right,
And I
that's
was
a very valid reason to be upset at someone.
like, "Oh, he's on vacation."
No, I don't. It's not right to force coke on somebody. I don't want you to have
It
to
wasn't
take coke.
forced. He asked me if I wanted some cocaine, and I
Got
said
mad
no.
at you for not taking it.
Well, he suggested I might be a cop, and I've seen The Wire, so I was kind of worried about what was going to happen next.
Well, I mean, if you were, you'd have to tell him. So that kind of ends that.
I also didn't realize that until after that "do you party" is actually slang for "do you do cocaine."
Oh, I thought it was like Molly or something. Hey, I found delirium.
That was a sick, nasty run. Yeah, that's the butthole.
I am on the depths too, so I'm closing in on a
Holy.
finish here.
I'm
You
inside
have no
the
right to be mad at
chest.
somebody for not taking drugs that you don't want. That's fair for you to say.
Oh,
no.
I see. So, Coke's where we draw the line, but a beer is okay because it's legal, right? Because Jeff Sessions said so.
I mean, when I turned
I
down
see
the
where
drug
we're
guy, he acted like I shut down his business for blocks around. Like, me saying no to him turned all the other people walking around in the throng of people from buying crack cocaine from this guy. Or
Right.
whatever he's slinging.
It's like he wanted to sell you crack, and you said, "Isn't that bad for you?" And everybody on the bridge was like, "Wait a minute."